Ni hao. That is to say, hello. I've learned some Chinese and I want us to learn some more. So when I say ni hao, I'm actually saying hello. Or I can say ni hao ma. That is, how are you? And if the response is good, you say how. But for ni hao, you can reply and say she she. Okay, I've learned a lot. I've learned how to count numbers. For instance, 0 is ling, yi is 1, er is 2, 3 is san, 4 is so. Funnily enough, 4 is so, and 7 is si, but 4 is actually si, and 7 is qi. 5 is wu, 6 is liu, 8 is ba, 9 is ju, and 10 is shi. 11 is shi yi, because yi is 1. 12 is shi er, and 13 is she san, and so on and so forth. When you get to 20s, now you take the number in the tens place digit number, and you multiply by 10 and add the ones digit. For instance, 20 would be she, because is 2 and she is 10, 2 times 10. And 21 would be she yi, where yi is 1. Okay, that's not what we want to learn today. What we want to learn today is all about directions and places. Are you ready? Now, how do we say where is? Where is when you want to get to some place? This is what we say when you want to say, ask where is.
在哪里?
Yes, you might want to ask, where is my pen? Where is the pen? So you say
在哪里?
在哪里? So I don't know how we call a pen, but we could say 在哪里 pen. If at all they call it pen, we'll find out later. 在哪里 almost sounds like finally. Finally. Anyway, let's go on. How far is it? How do you ask, how far is it? This is what you say.
有多远?
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 That is, how far is it? How about, how do I get there? If you want to go somewhere, how do I get there?
去那里怎么走?
Quite a mouthful.
去那里怎么走?
How do I get there? Next is, can you show me where it is on the map? You are asking for directions. Can you show me where is it on the map? Maybe the way to your home, or the way to the stadium, the way to the palace, the way to any destination. Can you show me where it is on the map? Maybe the capital city of Kenya. Where is it on the map?
你能告诉我它在地图上的位置吗?
Quite a long one.
你能告诉我它在地图上的位置吗?
Perhaps you might want to slow that down a bit or listen to it again for you to try to master it. I'll not try master that because that's quite long for me. Let's move on and look at the cardinal points. We have north, south, east, west. North, south, east, west. Those are the four main cardinal points. How do we call them in Chinese? North goes like this.
北
Bei, just the same way you say bei ya sukari. Bei.
北
And how do we call south?
南
Nan.
南
East.
东
Wait a minute.
东
Dong. Dong, just like something falling. Dong. I remember we used to have this joke that when Chinese want to name their children, they don't struggle looking in the dictionary or big cities. They just take a sufuria or a cooking pan, drop it, bang, then you become Peng Ching Ting, and so on and so forth. But that's just a joke. So this is Dong, which means east. West,
西
C. This C goes the same way like the number 7. The difference is when you're writing this C, you do X, I. When you're writing 7, you do Q, I. And when you do 4, which is S, you do S, I. Very funny. Now, let me just repeat that west for you before we go to something else.
西
Okay, now cross the street. How do you tell someone to cross the street? I want you to get something, but you need to cross the street. In Chinese, you would say this.
过马路
Guo ma lu. Again,
过马路
turn left. Turn left. What would you say? Turn left.
左转
Again,
左转
that is 左转. Okay, that is turn left. Turn right,
右转
右转.
右转
So I want to understand it that 左转, the 左 is the left. And then 右转, you is the right. So 左, it's like left turn, right turn. But we say turn left, turn right. Okay. Up. What would you say about up?
上面
上面.
上面
And down.
下面
下面.
下面
Go straight. What do you tell someone in Chinese when you want to tell them to go straight?
直走
直走.
直走
So left alone, without turn left, what would left alone mean?
左边
左边.
左边
And right alone would be
右边
右边. Oh, remember that 左 and 右. Right, left, turn right. I hope you get the similarity there. Now, in front of, something is in front of the other. What do you say? In front of?
在前面在前面
Now, we normally say in front of the bus, in front of the car, in front of the person. In Chinese, you don't put that object after in front of. We say 在前, but when you're writing it, after writing zai, you put whatever is in front, right between those two words. Let me just repeat those two words again.
在前面，
So zai, bus, 前面, that's how they call bus. Okay. Behind, how do we say behind?
在后面，
在后面 again.
在后面，
Okay. Under,
在下面，
在下面.
在下面，
On top,
在上面，在上面。
you do realize that when we talk about directions and positions, we are actually talking prepositions mostly, because this is what in English language we call prepositions. Okay. Opposites, what do we say?
在对面，在对面，
Near, how do we say near?
近的，
Again.
近的，
Now that thinda is actually not X or K or whatever. It is actually J. Thin. How about far? You are far.
远的，
Again,
远的，
that means far. On the corner. On the corner. Maybe at the corner over there, there's something. How do we say at the corner?
在拐角处，在拐角处，
It's straight ahead. Whatever you're looking for is straight ahead of you. What would you say in Chinese?
一直向前，一直向前，
Here, come here. You come closer. Here.
这里，
Jolly.
这里，
How about there? Here, there.
那里，
Again.
那里，
Traffic lights. You are out in the streets. You see traffic lights. How do you call them in Chinese?
红绿灯，
Again.
红绿灯，
Intersection. When roads tend to meet or cross each other, we call that intersection. So how do we call intersections?
十字路口，
She's local.
十字路口，
Airport. For those who fly, how do you call airport?
机场，
Dijiang.
机场，
Dijiang. Bus stop.
公交站，公交站，
Train station.
火车站，
Train station.
火车站，
Tourist information.
游客信息中心，游客信息中心，
That may be important, especially at the airport or maybe reception areas like beaches, so on and so forth. You might want to take the details, or when somebody is registering for maybe lodging or booking a place, and they are tourists. Okay. Department store.
百货商店，百货商店，
Our department store is just the same as a shopping mall or maybe a supermarket. Yeah, department store. A bank.
银行，
Again,
银行，
that's a bank. What about ATM? cash machines.
自动取款机，自动取款机，
Okay. A hotel.
宾馆，宾馆，
You want to eat something? Go to a pinguan. And that pinguan is not actually P, it's a B.
网吧，
That is a cyber cafe.
网吧，
Yes, or you can say internet cafe, but cyber cafe is common locally. Market, how do you call market in Chinese?
市场，
Again,
市场，
okay. Police station,
警察局，警察局，
a post office.
邮局，邮局，
Though they are getting out of market these days, who is writing letters when we can actually WhatsApp or send messages via TikTok, emails, and so on and so forth? Post office, that's it. Let's go to the cinema. Cinema?
电影院，电影院，
And what about a chemist or a pharmacy?
药剂师，药房，
So you can say Yao Jishi when you mean chemist, and you can say Yao Fang when you mean pharmacy.
药剂师，药房，
How did we forget about this? We should have started with this. School.
学校，
Shuixiao.
学校，
Shuixiao. Now, when you say Shuixiao, there is no S anywhere there. It is actually X and X. So the sh is XI and Shui Xiao. That Xiao is also XI.
住房，
That is house. House is.
住房，
Next up is if you are talking about, say, a 15-minute walk. The distance from the bus stop to my house is a 15 minutes walk. How do you say 15-minute walk?
步行15分钟，
Again,
步行15分钟，
okay. So the middle part, Shiwu, is actually 15. Shiwu, because Shi is 10 and Wu is 5. So Wu Xiu, Xiu Wo, Xing Zhong. So that is 15 minutes walk, but 15 is put in between minutes and walk.
打的，搭出租车，
That is go by taxi.
打的，搭出租车，
Go by taxi. Or these days we talk about Uber and what's the other one? Yeah.
天桥，
That is overhead walkway, or what you would otherwise call a footbridge. So there's a road here, and then there's where people walk as they cross. We call them footbridges, or you can also term them as overhead walkways. In China, we call them,
天桥，
okay, zebra crossing.
斑马线，
Again,
斑马线，
and how do we call a bridge?
桥，
A bridge.
桥，
How about a road?
路，道路，
So you can just say Lu, or you can say Dao Lu. Lu is road. Dao Lu is also a road. Lu in our case would actually mean toilet, but the lu that is toilet is L-double-O. The L that you're talking about here, lu, is L-U.
隧道
A tunnel.
隧道
That's a tunnel.
公园
That's a park.
公园
That's a park. Next up is a car park.
停车场
Again,
停车场
that's a car park. Now, how about a toilet? We have talked about a loo as not being a toilet, but rather being a road. Now, what is the toilet?
厕所卫生间
Yes, so you can say 小所, that is toilet, or the other longer name meaning a bathroom.
厕所卫生间
So then, how do you say where is the toilet?
卫生间在哪？
That is, where is the toilet?
卫生间在哪？
Where is the toilet? Ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of direction and places matters Chinese. I want to say Zajian, meaning goodbye. Zajian, goodbye.